program. And a lot of energy, a lot of excitement on what's going to happen and where this program is heading. When Kent was going through this process, and it was kind of funny because we rotate emceeing, Dan Ingram was emceeing, and I think he meant it, but he's like, I didn't even know who this guy was, and I think Coach Stitt was like, what do you mean you don't know who I am? But it was funny going through the process and talking to coaches across the country and other administrators, and Coach Stitt's name just kept popping up, and I think everybody in this room probably Googled his name, and it didn't take long to figure out he's an innovator, he's a great leader, and we're very fortunate to call him our head coach of Montana football. Please welcome Bob Stitt.
Thanks, Greg. Thank you. This is awesome. This is the biggest and the most energetic crowd that we've seen on tour. We're approaching 3,000 miles, and it's never been better. I was really impressed with the lines. The beer line was longer than the barbecue line, and I love this town, but it's my kind of place. But when you get hired as a football coach, you got to put together a staff, and we wanted to retain some of the great coaches that they had. We couldn't keep them all, but we needed to keep some good ones, and we wanted some continuity, and Coach Delaney had done a great job with the program over the past few years. Is Coach still here? Defense had been so strong, we wanted to keep Ty Gregorak around to run our defense. Ty, stand up. So we retained some of that staff, and then we wanted to bring some old back, and we've got one of the old greats, Mike Ferreter. Mike's our inside receiver coach, and then the guy that's responsible for driving the 3,000 miles around Montana with me is our new director of football operations, Colin Bonnickson. What's a director of football operations guy do? If you have concerns, questions about our football program, you can bypass me and you can go right to him, and he will give you his cell number on the way out. But anyway, we're very excited about being in Montana. I've got two boys, a 16-year-old, 11-year-old. We wanted to get them in school, ingrained into the culture, into Missoula, into the schools, and we got a house closed on in less than a month. We are so excited to be here. Sam's my youngest, 11-year-old fifth grader at Cold Springs. Joe's my oldest one. He's a sophomore at Loyola, and a wonderful student. I'm so proud of the way that he attacks academics, and I always joke he's never had a B in his life, and that's what we have in common. I've never had a B either. But anyway, proud of my kids, proud of the way my wife's handled things as far as the move goes, and I was very proud of being at one school for 15 years. And the biggest reason is that you don't have to move your kids. And some college coaches move their kids every year. I recruited a kid that his dad was a coach at LSU, and I asked him what his GPA was, and he says, "Coach, I have no idea. This is my 4th high school." You know, so it was something that I was really, really proud of keeping my kids in one place for 15 years. Thank you. So it had to be special if we're going to move. And, you know, we had built our program in what I thought was the top program in Division II. And if we were going to move, it was going to be the best at a higher level. And when Kent called, that was something that I was very interested in. There had been a lot of calls over the years, and people are like, why have you stayed so long? Why is it 15 years? If you're so good, why don't you leave? Because it's so good where I'm at. That's why I didn't leave. But you can't pass on Montana. It is the best football program in FCS. So now I got my juices flowing. At my age, I needed this and needed a new challenge, and I think we got one, August 29th. Thanks, Kent. I'm new to FCS. Are they any good? Is that North Dakota State team any good? I tell you one thing about that, though. Exactly. We played them last year very tough defensively. We kept them out of the end zone, and it was a very competitive game. The difference is this year we got the same great defense. I think they're going to be even better. We're going to score more points, and they got to play at Washington Griz. That's going to be a big difference. We are going to be faster than any offensive football team in America. There you go. So don't go to the bathroom if we have the ball. You may miss 10 or 12 plays, all right? But it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. We're going to still run the ball. We are going to attack the defense where they're weak. And our quarterback position is very important to us. And we've got some really great kids, vying for that spot. Brady Gustafson is a guy that kind of separated himself in spring ball, but the competition's still going. They need to have a great summer. Need to come into fall camp ready to roll and see how things transpire through fall camp. But we're going to have a quality program on and off the field. It's something I believe in, that you're going to be very proud of the way our guys conduct themselves on the field. But if you run into them someplace in the state, downtown, on campus, you're going to be really proud of the way that kids conduct themselves outside of the stadium, too. Hard work, discipline, accountability is what football's all about. And that's what we're preaching to our kids right now, and they're working very hard. And we're not trying to change things, we're trying to get it back. We're trying to get the swagger back, and we're going to get there. And this is a very proud football program, and should never be second to anybody. And so that's what I'm really working on right now. And getting around the state, people talk to me and ask me questions. I've been asked this several times. What surprised you about coming to Montana? Well, I knew that there were passionate fans, but they were even more passionate once I got around the state and got to meet people. And that's what makes me want to work even harder to get this thing going, because I know how much Griz football matters to the people of this state. And you don't want to let them down. You want to put a product out there that we can win every single week. And people travel long ways. They spend a lot of money coming to our games, and we got to put a product out there that's going to be exciting and fun for them every single week. I grew up in Nebraska, and when we lost a game, it ruined our lives for the rest of the year. That's the way it was. We lived and breathed football in Nebraska. And Montana really reminds me of Nebraska, because it's something that is almost a religion there. And it's because you only have one team to root for in Nebraska, and it's the same in Montana. So anyway, we need to wrap this thing up. It's been a long night and an awesome night for everybody. We appreciate your support, and it's so much fun to be around you guys, and cannot wait till August 29th to run down that tunnel for the first time. It's going to be the loudest crowd and the biggest crowd we've ever played in front of. They're going to bring more bleachers in. We're going to try to get that thing to 27,000, set another record. And I hope everybody in this room is there on August 29th and be louder and prouder than you've ever been. And let's do something special that day. Appreciate you.
All right, thank you so much. Thanks to Jason Matthews and Marty for running the board, doing the technical stuff. It's a great evening. It is awesome to be at Griz. We can't thank the chapter of Great Falls, all the volunteers, and every single one of you for coming out tonight. We look forward to seeing you around the state this summer, and of course in late August. Go Griz and have a great night. Thank you.
And don't